attack were both conducted by the same terrorist group, which is Somali-based Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab is a violent Islamic extremist organisation. I read from persecution.org. They've been operating out of Somalia since they were part of the Islamic Courts Union previous to 2006. Then in 2012 they pledged allegiance to Al-Qaeda. Since that time they've held large parts of the Somali countryside, including much of the rural land surrounding Mogadishu, the country's capital. They've been conducting many attacks on Kenyan soil each year since Kenya joined the African Union mission in Somalia, which is the acronym is AMISOM, a coalition of African forces trying to end Al-Shabaab's regime. These attacks often, but not always, target Christians and are very brutal. Hundreds of people have been killed by Al-Shabaab over the past decade in Kenya, many of them executed only because of their Christian faith. Al-Shabaab believes that if they kill enough Christians in Kenya, then the Kenyan government will stop supporting AMISOM. This is not proved true, however. So on that note, I'd like you to please pray for Al-Shabaab. Firstly, I'd like you to pray that with whatever is causing them to persecute Muslims and Christians, because if they're anything like ISWAP and Boko Haram, they also kill Muslims because it's mainly tribal in Africa. So I'd like you to pray firstly for the persecutors, please. They need to be filled with some spirit of love, or like fight not against the flesh. And then I would like you to pray, please, for the remaining Christians in Kenya and in Nigeria as well, because I just referenced ISWAP and Boko Haram. So, like I said earlier, there will be videos this week about Hindu extremism and Christian persecution, because that's my topic. So I'm not claiming that all persecution of Christians comes from Islam. It surely doesn't, because China is #1 in the world for the persecution of Muslims and Christians, any theists at all. Because the idea of God and the idea of an ultimate truth and an objective truth is dangerous to godless, atheistic or communist regimes, because they know that if people are imbued with the truth, if they have the truth in their heart, then it doesn't matter if you persecute the body necessarily. It's very difficult to stamp out an idea unless you stamp out the mind which holds the idea. So please do pray for Christians everywhere, but focus your hearts especially on Pakistan, Nigeria, Sudan, Ethiopia for sure. In July and August of this year, 500 Christians have been murdered in Ethiopia, and 4,000 Ethiopian Christians have had to basically flee their places of residence and go into internally displaced persons camps, which can then be re-attacked. So it's really desperate. But on a brighter note, Romans 8:28 tells us that all things work to the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose. I don't particularly know what that good will be, but I know that Jeremiah 29:11 onwards says that God alone knows the plans for us, plans to prosper us and not to harm us, to give us a future and a hope. So we will be hated, as Christ said, because the world didn't understand it. The darkness does not understand the light. But that doesn't mean that you need to retreat from your faith or denounce your true beliefs, because no man should have power over your soul. There's no point in saving your body and losing your soul. And I think Muslims would agree, and I think many other theists would agree with that. So you don't have to give them money. Just please try to publicise these cases, because if it were for the BBC and the Guardian and the Sky News and any mainstream twaddlemonger, basically no one would really know about these things. And I'm not going to go on a rant about the MSM, but wake up people and yes, smell the slaughter, as it were. And I'm going to stop now because I'm rambling. God bless. Yeah, I'm going to make another.
As long as I don't commit harm, cause injury, cause loss, preach the peace, I haven't committed a crime. So when a policeman or a police officer comes up to you and tries to detain you, for what? What crime am I committing, please? You cannot have a victimless crime, right? You have to have a witness, you have to have evidence, and you have to have reasonable suspicion that they were intending to do that, right? And if you have none of those, you have no crime, and the police cannot get you for it, right? So all of this is a deception, being fined, taking you into abuse because you're speaking your truth, right? That is all criminal activity that these policy enforcers are trying to extort money from you, and you're already paying for their service. Common law.
So you're saying, alright, cool. If everybody starts to...
We need